it is gusting so strongly that if you're not sort of tied down or near something to hold on to, you might wind up overboard.
All right, fellow travelers, all aboard. We've got the wind at our back, and we are headed to the crown jewel of the Baltics.
I got fins to the left, fins to the right, because I'm in...
We're going to finish what we started by visiting a place synonymous with snow and cold and everyone's favorite time of year.
It is the land of wintertime and Christmas time, of Santa Claus and reindeer. You can find those animals on the mines and the menus of people all over this country.
A place filled with friendly people.
Hello.
And a place you can actually explore for fairly cheap if you pick the right time of year.
We are doing this sort of on a whim. My son and I found very cheap tickets, $400 round trip from Denver to Helsinki, and we thought, why not? Let's do it. So we came.
We're going to tell you the right time to come here, the most amazing things to see, from a world-famous bakery to a famous fortress to a market teeming with treasures to a ferry that will blast you across the Baltic Sea.
We are taking you to Helsinki, Finland to see how much we can do in this great town in just about 36 hours in this episode of Window Seat.
This is country number 75 for yours truly. Since Sean's already been here, I decided it was time to check this historic European capital city off the list for myself. So I enlisted my son, who had a few days off from school, and off we went for a very quick weekend to Finland. Our goal? To come up with a list of things you absolutely have to do if you come here.
All right, let's kick off this list by doing the one thing you absolutely have to do when you come to Helsinki, Finland, and that is get out of Helsinki, Finland, but not very far. You're going just a couple of kilometers off the coast to this series of really cool islands, the biggest of which is called Suomenlinna, or something like that. Here's how it really sounds.
Suomenlinna.
Now you got it.
The journey starts on the waterfront, where you grab a ticket that costs about $5 and hop aboard a ferry for a quick 15-minute ride across the harbor, where we sail past the sky wheel and straight into the calm waters and quickly realize we are in for a treat. A truly amazing view all along the way. The archipelago of Helsinki consists of around 330 islands, providing a great gateway to lush green forests, sandy beaches, cute little homes, some home to cafes, bars, restaurants. They are popular getaways for locals and tourists alike, but none more popular than the string of islands that make up Helsinki's famous sea fortress. Get ready for an amazing step back in time.
So here's the deal. You take that ferry over here. You can spend hours shopping, exploring, reading, have a picnic, just spending time with friends. It's a really cool place to do it. It's just 2.5 miles from the city center of Helsinki. Beautiful, picturesque. The ferry ride out here is just amazing because you get such a picture of the quaintness of them all. They were really built as a fortification to try and protect these islands and protect the Finnish coast from encroaching militaries. In fact, they once called these the Gibraltar of the North because of their strategic location. And it's pretty cool. It's part of Helsinki I didn't really anticipate, so I like it.
As far as that history goes, the fortress has 3 eras: the Swedish era, the Russian era, and the independent era we're in today.
The Swedish crown actually started building this place in the year 1738 to protect against Russian expansionism. We've all seen how they still like to expand. And it actually didn't work. Sweden actually ended up surrendering the fortress to Russia in the year 1808. The Russians used this place as a base camp for the Baltic Fleet during World War I. And since then, it really doesn't have much use as a military base, so it's been turned over to civilians to enjoy and really soak in the sights.
It is quiet, it's calm, it's serene, it's a great escape. There are restaurants, even a little grocery store. About 800 people actually live out here year-round, and about 1 million people come to visit this UNESCO World Heritage Site every year. And you should too.
So there you have it. If you're coming to Helsinki, Finland, make sure these islands are one of your very first stops. You will not regret it. All right, on to the next one.
This one is easy. It's right here waiting for you as you step off that ferry boat when you arrive back at South Harbor.
All right, next up on our list of things to do in Helsinki is to get out here in the thick of it with all the locals and the tourists and pay a visit to Market Square.
Vendors abound with everything Finnish you can imagine.
So Market Square is this really cool place right here by the waterfront in downtown, the old part of Helsinki. It's where you can find fresh food, fresh drink, souvenirs, anything your heart desires is right here in this part of town. Let's take a look.
It's kind of small on the day we come because we've arrived in mid-October, just after things start to quiet down for the winter. But come here just a couple weeks earlier and you'll get to experience the famed Helsinki Baltic Herring Market, one of the oldest traditions in the country, dating back to 1743. This is the city's most famous international market, filled with heated cafe tents where you can get steaming hot drinks and perhaps a helping of reindeer sausage if you like. They tell us this is actually 20% pork because reindeer meat by itself is just way too dry. But anyway, if you want a taste of Finland, this is your place. Now probably is a good time to talk about the best time of year to come here. Yes, of course, if you're looking for great weather, come here in the summer like Sean did, experience the carnivals and all the sunny fun that he had just a few years back, or even book passage on one of those Baltic cruise ships that will take you to all the cool stops along these coasts from Tallinn to St. Petersburg. But if you're looking for real bargains, come to Helsinki in the shoulder seasons. We came, again, in mid-October, and the price was right. Very cheap airfare, hotels were cheaper too, and the weather was still just fine because winter hadn't yet set in. Though, don't get me wrong, it ain't exactly a sauna out here.
All right, so we've still got a couple of hours of daylight right here. Got to the hotel, took a little shower, tried to freshen up. We're going to experience as much of Helsinki in the next couple of hours as we can. It's a little chilly. So,
and windy.
And windy, but it's fall, it's beautiful, and this is going to be fun.
Now, since I'm traveling with my son, I did want to make sure some of my activities were a little more kid-focused, and it doesn't get much more kid-centric than chocolate.
The next stop on our must-dos here in Helsinki is a visit to Fazer Cafe. These things have been around since 1891, since the days of Carl Fazer, and it's an institution here in Helsinki. Wait until you see some of the great stuff they have on the shelves in there that you can eat. Let's go take a look.
This place is a feast for the eyes, with display cases lined with mouth-watering treats and local favorites, just as they've been eaten here for well over 130 years. Founded by Carl Fazer, who studied baking in Berlin, Paris, and St. Petersburg before opening his own French-Russian confectionery here, this brand is famous all over Finland, and each pastry and chocolate brings to life the company's slogan, "Say Fazer when you want something good." This is a place for family gatherings and special occasions, and everything about it feels first class. My son had a fantastic cinnamon roll, and I had a slice of espresso chocolate cake. Both were magnificent, and no matter your age, you'll feel like a kid in a candy store when you come here. There are several locations all over town, so you're never far from this slice of heaven.
All right, gotta kind of whisper for this next one because we are inside the library. And yes, it is kind of strange for us to recommend that you absolutely have to go to a library, but this is one you do. It's our next must-do here in Helsinki. Stop by the Central Public Library. It is so much more than books. You won't believe all the creative things taking place inside this fancy, modern, marvelous building.
Though there are 100,000 publications within these walls, books are just part of what makes it so special. First off, the architecture is stunning and oh so Euro, with a striking glass and steel curved skeleton covered with wood. It looks straight out of the future. So does everything that happens inside. You can create your own designs on a series of 3D printers. There's a full-on recording studio where you can make your own music, an urban workshop where you can create and design and sew your own clothes. There are gaming studios where you can play video games with friends. There's children's play areas, cafes, floor after floor of learning and meeting spaces. They have taken the concept of a public library and run with it, and you'll leave this place envious that you don't have one of these in your own hometown.
No matter what city you're in, it's always a great idea to get on the subway, kind of experience life like a local, and so that is exactly what we are going to do.
All right, remember, our time here is short, just about 36 hours. Don't have a ton of time to see and do much. So the last thing on our list is you gotta go to the seafront and hop aboard a Baltic ferry while you're here in Helsinki, because a day trip to Tallinn, Estonia is something everyone who comes here should do. Departing from the modern ferry terminal, cruise ships take off several times a day for the 2-hour journey across the often less than hospitable Baltic Sea to the former USSR.
These are gale force winds. You'd think I was one of those reporters standing in a hurricane right about now. I have no idea how strong they are, but I know that it is gusting so strongly that if you're not sort of tied down or near something to hold on to, you might wind up overboard.
Pro tip, the ships are ultra-modern and full of amazing amenities, so stay inside and don't join the smokers on the outside deck. We'll have much more on both these Baltic ferries and the services they offer, and what it's like to spend a day in Estonia visiting places like this very cool KGB museum in future episodes of Window Seat, so be sure to stick around for those.
All right, so that's it. That's all the time we have here in Helsinki, Finland. What do you think? We squeezed in quite a bit for like 36 hours. Not too bad, I think, but there's many things we missed. So let us know about those in the comments below. My son is over here making faces. Sorry. Also, be sure to hit like and share on the video so that we can continue to spread the word about our travels all over the world. And if you'd be so kind, please hit subscribe so you can follow our adventures as we try to get to every single country on the planet. 197 of them. This is my 75th, so we got a little ways to go. We're back with a brand new episode of Window Seat next Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. In the meantime, check out one of these other episodes from Window Seat.